Welcome to how to raise your average price without losing customers. Your higher average price makes a huge difference to your bottom line because it increases your revenue and it also increases your gross margin, your gross profit margin. Now, the way prices are set simply in a market is through market forces, supply and demand. The blue line shows that if the price is higher, more suppliers are able and willing to sell, so you get more coming onto the market. And if the price is higher with the red line, less people are able and willing to buy. So you get lower quantities bought at higher prices, higher quantities bought at lower prices. This is obviously a simplification, I understand that, but in simple terms, this is what works. So one way to raise your average prices, of course, is to not be charging the standard market price where these two forces cross. So the equilibrium price is where the supply and demand line crosses. If you can move your demand out, as this red line is, then you can charge a higher price because your equilibrium price would now be higher. And you do that by differentiating yourself from your competitors, having a unique perceived benefit, a market dominating position, which basically means that for the major issue or concern that your ideal target customer has got, you seem to offer a better solution than the others, and you get that message across. Now, another way of doing this is if you look at the supply and demand line, where they cross is the market price, but the red line shows that at higher prices than that price, you could still sell, it's just you wouldn't sell as much. You'd sell lower quantities at the higher price, which basically means there are customers out there who would have bought from you at a higher price, but you've had to lower your price to sell more to get the amount of sales quantity shown here. Well, that means if you can offer a higher price option, such as having gold, silver, bronze, for example, then that means that a good proportion of your customers won't buy the market standard bronze product. They'll buy either the middle one or the higher one. And generally what happens is about half would actually go for the middle one. So straight away, if you have three different propositions, you can raise your average price. The other thing you can do is you can have an upsell, which means that you have the option to sell larger quantities. So McDonald's go large with that. You can have a cross-sell, which means that at the point of sale, you have something else you can sell as well. So shoes and shoe polish, laptops and laptop bags. Obviously, McDonald's, it's do you want fries with that? And you can also bundle in extra value. So instead of charging, say, 10% less to undercut your rivals, why not add in extra value? So if you're a restaurant, for example, instead of doing a 10% discount, why not offer a free dessert? Well, the 10% discount would cost you £2 if your average price, or $2 if your average price is 20. Well, if you added in a free dessert, that would only probably cost you 50 cents or 50 pence. And you could actually even probably charge more because the value will be perceived to be, rather than 20, maybe 24, 25. So that's called bundling, and that is much better than discounting or lowering your prices. And again, that's a really good way to raise your average price. Now, the reason this is important is because the price you charge has a disproportionate effect on your bottom line. So in this example here, we're looking at selling 5,000 units, and we've got a price of 10 on the left-hand column, and our variable cost, or our direct cost of making or selling or buying these things in, is 4. So our gross profit is 30 because we're making 6 on everything we sell and we're selling 5,000 of them. If our fixed costs are 10,000, that means we'll end up with a net profit or an operating profit or a bottom line profit of 20,000. Now, if we lower our price to 9, which is only a 10% reduction, it still costs us 4 as a cost of goods sold. But now we're only making 5 on everything we sell. So 5,000 units times 5 is 25,000. Take off the 10,000 overheads. We now make a net profit of 15,000, which is a reduction of 25%. On the other hand, if we can charge 10% more, 11, we're making 7 on everything we sell now. So 5,000 units at £7 profit on each, or $7 profit, is 35,000. Take off our fixed overheads, and we now make a bottom line of 25,000, which is actually 25% more. But a better way of looking at this is the difference between charging 9, effectively the 10% discount, charging 10, the market going rate, or charging 11, the bundled in or the gold option or the silver option. Well, charging the market rate 10 is 33% better than the discounted figure, and charging the higher 11 is 67, so 2/3 better than the discounted option, 67%. So you can see that being able to charge slightly more rather than charge slightly less and not lose customers, which you wouldn't do with the options I've just outlined, makes a huge disproportionate effect on your bottom line. So I hope you found that useful and interesting, and that to me is something that most businesses could apply straight away. Thanks very much for watching.